Yo, so it's this video, which as you can see and I've seen, yeah, this is a pretty epic video. You guys should watch this video at some point. It's fucking sick. You know, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to rewatch it because I don't feel like cutting anymore, and I don't know if I want to play the game. Yeah, this is like this is a pretty good video. This is a very, very good video. Yeah, would you guys be down? Because you also get to know the Flubler lore. Because I'm in this video. I'm in the second half of this video. You know what? I'm going to watch this, re-upload it to YouTube as like a commentary video almost, like explaining shit. Give a little bit more behind the scenes. How'd you guys be down with that? All right, let's watch this shit. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. Trust me, it's good. All right, can you hear it?
I hate to break this to you, but this is not a Toy Story convention.
Ryan, you've got to help me. I'm undergoing a crisis here.
This situation seems vaguely familiar.
Is it good now?
Never
Okay.
mind, this is worse than I thought.
Ever since I got this game, everything's been affected. I can't even run through doors normally anymore.
I mean, come on. I'm sure it can't be
Actually, I'll
that
turn off
bad.
subs.
I mean, come on.
I told you this would happen.
Is the volume good?
Beat the game or else. Do you know what that means?
Oh, that's it? Oh, what a relief. I'm sure the game can't be that bad. Oh boy, I love Trauma.
Sonic is one of the most beloved characters in the video game industry. Most of the games in the franchise were met with positive reviews during his early years. The hype among
Go-to game.
fans skyrocketed when Sega, the company behind the Sonic games, announced Sonic the Hedgehog was to release on November 14th, 2006 in North America for his 15th anniversary. It was put onto Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 consoles and became one of the most disappointing releases in the Sonic franchise. The game, later dubbed Sonic 06, faced scrutiny upon its debut due to the lack of polish. Many players encountered bugs that hindered the experience, such as losing lives in unfair ways, getting soft-locked with no escape, and a plethora of other glitches. Though Sega let down its casual player base, they inadvertently created one of the coolest speed games of all time. The broken physics and the abundance of glitches made the game a diamond in the rough among the growing speedrun community. The Xbox version quickly became the most popular version for runners, and little did they know that they were going to exceed limits beyond their own understanding.
No, not for like 5 years,
This is the
Sleen.
chaotic speedrun history of Sonic 06.
Dude, I haven't watched this video since it came out. Yeah, I'm in this video. But to understand the context, you have
Sonic
to...
speedrunning in its entirety came
We gotta
along
watch
well
it.
before the release of 06. In 2003, a user named Rolkin created the Sonic Center, the first website that grouped all of the Sonic games into one place. Each game had its own leaderboards of individual level runs that players could submit times for. When a new Sonic game came out, it was added to the website. This was the case for Sonic 06, which garnered a small player base shortly after it was added.
Yeah, man.
One of the people that
It
started
was really
submitting their runs
popular
to the
back in the
website
day.
was named the one and only Sonic, better known as DSS, Darkspine Sonic. No one knew it yet,
DSS,
but DSS
my
was
goat.
going to become one of the most influential figures in the entire Sonic community. On March 11th, 2007, he made his first speedrun discovery
Hey, no
in
spoiling.
Sonic 06. The entirety of 06 takes place around the main hub world called Soliana. This location is connected to almost all the levels the player visits throughout the story. As the game progresses, Sonic is required to go to the shop in Soliana for certain missions. Multiple gems are available for purchase that each grant Sonic a new ability. One of the easiest gems to exploit is the Sky Gem. When thrown, the gem gravitates Sonic toward wherever it lands. This is particularly helpful against the final boss fight, but not in the way anyone expected. At the end of Sonic's story, the player must take down the final boss against the Egg Wyvern. To defeat him, Sonic has to wait for openings in Eggman's attacks to slowly damage him. This fight takes about 5 to 6 minutes to complete on average. That was until DSS uploaded his first YouTube video of him completing the fight in 50 seconds. A 6-minute fight reduced to a sixth of the regular time, but how? Around 25 seconds into the
Yeah,
fight,
this glitch is
Eggman
crazy.
always charges towards Sonic.
gotta wait and
Knowing
see this
this,
shit.
DSS waits for Eggman to charge and then pulls out the Sky Gem and throws it to the side. In one fluid motion, DSS performs a homing attack on the horn, and once the gem lands, he is forced off Eggman and lands back on the platform. At first, it doesn't seem like this had an effect on the fight at all. That is, until another 20 seconds pass, and this happens.
Yeah, so the boss ends because the enemy goes to the area where you die.
The
like a
fight
kill
ends
flame.
out of nowhere.
And it
It
ends.
was unclear as to why these specific inputs forced the fight to end so abruptly. Regardless, DSS discovered the first official speedrun skip in Sonic 06 and saved a ton of time in the process.
was in
This
2007,
video was
by the
shared
way.
in a Sonic 06 forum on
2007,
Speed
6
Demos
months after
archive
the game
a few
came
months
out.
after his finding and
Which is
baffled
crazy.
all the other players. Paused
Nuts,
was the
man.
user that started the conversation surrounding the Sonic Story speedrun and claimed to have achieved a time of an hour and 40 minutes. Another user named Peroxide, who nowadays goes by the name Aruki, shared their thoughts and strategies with Paused. The Egg Wyvern strategy was just the beginning for DSS as he continued to post more of his findings in other parts of the internet. He shared fast completion times of the first level, Wave Ocean, where he used Tails' flying ability to skip a large chunk of platforming. In November 2007, DSS uploaded the first two parts of his segmented speedrun for Sonic 06. Though he only got through the first few levels, some of DSS's strategies were now being shown for the first time. In the following years, DSS dispersed his
Yeah.
attention toward other Sonic
I
games
mean, in
on
case
his
the
channel.
quality wasn't
As
already
less
obvious,
glitch
this
hunting
is, like, what
occurred,
you
the
need to
only
show
attention
for
given to
these type of
Sonic
videos
06
to be
was through
accurate.
harsh reviews from players and critics alike. The game was
You know?
seen as a laughingstock, and on the surface, it wasn't hard to see why. DSS seemed like the only person who was truly curious about the game's mechanics. Luckily for him, his dedication didn't go unnoticed. On June 12, 2012, Venick uploaded the first full speedrun of Sonic Story onto YouTube. The credit for most of the glitches and strategies used goes to DSS, and his discoveries paved the way for Venick to get his time. He did the same tail strategy in Wave Ocean and had similar movement in Dusty Desert. Outside of those tricks, DSS
From
also
Zelda.
found Laser Skip
He's a
in White
Zelda runner,
Acropolis,
too.
which skips nearly half of the level. Other highlights include speeding up the Iblis fight. In casual gameplay, Sonic is supposed to hit the floating purple rocks to trigger Iblis to come closer. However, they can only normally be reached when enough platforms fall into place to give Sonic a clear path. But Venick doesn't have time for that. Instead, he uses invincibility frames to walk on the lava and homing attacks the purple rock early. He does this for 3 of the 4 phases and saves a good chunk of time in the fight. A couple
Yeah.
levels later in
Skips
Tropical
so much
Jungle,
time.
Venick clips through the inside of this log by sliding and falls all the way down
This
to
saves
the
a lot
last
more
ramp
time than it
before
looks.
the loading screen. He needs
That's
to
like
be
20
careful
seconds,
because
by the
there's a
way.
death plane he has to avoid on the way down. Otherwise, this clip saves about 10 seconds. Other skips by DSS
Okay, I
include Silver
over-exaggerated.
Skip
It's like
in
10,
Kingdom
but
Valley.
yeah.
In the second part of the level, the
You get
player
the
gets
point.
their first chance to play as Silver the Hedgehog. This area shows off Silver's abilities for the first time to help accustom players to his moveset, and
Yeah, he did.
Venick skips him entirely. In the beginning of this section, Sonic comes in
By the
hanging
way,
on an
this
eagle that
quality
takes
for
him to the
2012 is
platform below.
insane.
But if Sonic jumps off immediately and attacks toward the right spot, he will land on a lip in the wall. By
It's actually
platforming on
not
the
that
rest
bad.
of the small spaces and jumping into the Sonic trigger at the end, Silver's entire area is skipped, saving 20 seconds. Just before the final level, Venick purchases the Sky Gem and uses it to get to each of the bells around Soliana faster. This is necessary to unlock Aquatic Base. Speaking of which, Venick uses the Sky Gem to clip through a multitude of doors. The run ends with the Egg Wyvern strategy, and Venick gets a time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 59 seconds. There were multiple mistakes in the run, such as a few unfortunate
oops.
deaths and non-optimal movement in some spots. Skips previously discovered by DSS were
Doable on
also
PS6?
unused in Venick's run, hence
think
why he
some of it
came
is.
back 2 months
I'm not
later
entirely
and
sure, though.
beat his first record by over 5 minutes. In Soliana, Venek clipped inside of this building by performing a homing attack just before landing on the
Yeah,
ground.
Spleen.
This
Yeah.
allows him to get inside this hidden room and onto
true.
the rooftop early.
Sully
To
does
get
look
there in a
chill.
normal playthrough, Sonic
he's just
purchases the
vibing, you know?
anti-gravity ability from the store so that he can slide under this crevasse in
thing.
the wall. With this skip in place, the ability is not necessary until later in the run. Towards the end of the 5th main level, called Flame Core, the player gets their first chance to play as Knuckles. Knuckles' unique moveset grants him the ability to climb on walls and the ability to glide. When Venek gets to Knuckles' section, he climbs on the wall near the cave entrance until he hits the ceiling. From here, he jumps and clips inside of the ceiling and swerves left to avoid an invisible death plane. Once he's past that, Venek glides directly toward the goal
just
ring,
having some
saving
fun,
20
you know?
seconds. In the Wave Ocean revisit as Tails, Venek aligns him to the edge of this boost panel and skips going inside the loop. Consequently, Tails' high speed combined with his ability to fly carries him all the way over to the pier and skips a large chunk of the stage. In the final 15 minutes, he used the Sky Gem to skip a lot more areas.
Nice bit
This
right now,
was a
that's just the
solid
video
run.
quality.
Venek chose to move on with his speedrunning career following his 06 speedruns and focused his energy toward the Zelda series. But Venek's time would not be the last record set that year. That honor belongs to a rookie. Sadly, the videos of their runs no longer exist, but the impact they had on the early stages of speedrunning cannot be understated. They became one of the first speedrunners to stream their activities on Twitch, a relatively new live streaming site. A rookie set a
streaming
new
right now.
record in 06 not just once, not twice, but 4 times. Though the videos are now gone, many runners claim to have seen them before they were taken down. Aruki left a short but impactful legacy. The next new record didn't occur until after the founding of Speedrun.com.
Yep, speedrun.com.
Dang it! I can't get past this well-programmed boss.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Man, if only we had extra batteries.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Wait, if this game affects me in real life, that probably means I can go super fast, right?
What the fuck?
I am incredibly scared right now. You know, I've heard there's a shady person down the road that sells illegal copies of Toy Story, but also sells batteries on the side.
Alright, it's time to go fast.
Good thing he's getting batteries. The only thing that can make this worse is if he got a game over and didn't save.
Oh.
Well, that's terrible.
For over a year, Sonic 06 remained untouched among speedrunners.
That's awesome,
Then,
man.
a familiar face reappeared once again. For the last 7 years, he became a champion among the Sonic community. In 2014, Darkspine Sonic returned to the 06 speedrunning scene stronger than ever. In February that year, DSS showcased Sonic 06 at the charity event Awesome Games Done Quick. He featured the Broken Percent speedrun, where as the title implies, the game gets completely broken.
Now, I'm still holding on to the X button right now because I need to
that's
talk
my
to a
goal.
townsperson that's going to do a storyline
Move it so
mission.
you can see it.
Since it can't decide where I'm at in the actual story, it's going to place me at a certain point after
Yeah,
I
I'll move it
finish.
here.
Well, what do you know? I just beat Sonic Stories.
In just 15 minutes, DSS made it to the credits of Sonic's story by using a trick called Mission Select Glitch, also known as MSG. By performing a series of
Oh,
specific
yo.
inputs,
Yo, that
missions can
couch
be
is goated. Hold up. So we got Burton, Worcester, Trihex. I don't know who this guy is. But yeah, all these three ran different Sonic games. He ran Shadow and Sonic R. Worcester ran a bunch of different, a lot of variety of ones, like Classic Sonic, and Trihex is just a Sonic fan. He had the record of Yoshi's Island, I think, back then. Yeah, and he's pretty big now. He actually follows me, by the way. It's pretty cool.
also known as MSG. By performing a series of specific
One of my
inputs,
flexes.
missions can be stored and loaded at parts of the game they're not supposed to be. DSS was able to warp to the credits using this trick. This marked a change in the 06 speedrun, and a separation of speedrun categories took place. Sonic Story Any Percent was created
Can't
for the
wait to
credits
see me.
warp method of
You're gonna
beating
have
the
to wait,
game.
like,
The
30
category
minutes,
for
buddy.
the full speedrun was titled Sonic
gonna
No
be there,
Mission
I
Select
promise.
Glitch, which is the main focus
Right
of
now
this
we're at
progression.
2014, man.
Who
I
knew
was
this game
fucking
had
9
glitches
years
in
old,
it?
dude.
7 months after the showcase, DSS returned to Sonic's story and achieved his first official
I don't
world
think I would
record
be
in the
speedrunning
category.
Sonic 06.
Of course, new tricks were implemented. At the beginning of Wave Ocean, DSS executes one of the
Going to
coolest skips in
fucking
the entire speedrun.
Chuck E. Cheese
Instead of
and
treading
fucking
water to the island, DSS
eating, like,
jumps
2
early
pizzas
and
or
destroys
some
the
shit,
rock
I don't
to
know.
his left. Next, he jumps back into the loop and aligns himself on the edge. After tilting the camera, DSS presses the A button and pauses at the same time. When he unpauses and mashes the A button, Sonic flies at the speed of sound and skips nearly half of his section. DSS named
I mean,
this
this is a
Wave
game
Ocean
that's older
skip
than
and
you.
saved over half a minute. The building clip in Soliana was already a neat trick, but DSS made it even better. By running to the right and hitting the teleporter for Dusty Desert, the game doesn't send Sonic to the level immediately. Instead, the game stores a command that Sonic has interacted with the teleporter. When DSS does the clip again and talks to the girl on the roof, the game sends him directly into Dusty Desert instead of Soliana. This saves him from enduring another loading screen. He also discovered another out of bounds in Flame Core that saved a few seconds. But by far the most intriguing part of the run was the Egg Wyvern fight. Backtracking to 2013, DSS was about to finish with a new personal best. He was very far ahead of his previous time and he prepared himself for the Egg Wyvern strategy.
All I have to do is land the glitch, and if I do that, then I am done, people. Unless I do something stupid afterwards.
Oh my god. This chat.
In a harrowing twist of events, DSS ends up a little too close to the edge. Instinctively, he threw another sky gem to save himself from falling off the platform.
Oh, the save! Whoa, whoa! Oh, whoa!
That was found on
Hold
complete
up.
accident, by the way. Complete accident.
Did you see that?
DSS's quick thinking accidentally led to a discovery of a faster way to finish the fight. He later learned how to execute the strategy and improved upon it further. Returning to his current run, this is what he does. At the 15-second mark, DSS
April, have you
throws
seen
the
this
sky
video?
gem just before Eggman dips
You're in for
down
a
and
treat.
allows Sonic to grab the horn. When he returns to the platform, he runs off and throws the sky gem at the very edge. This action inexplicably shoots Sonic up into the air and the boss is cut short. From 49 seconds to 21 seconds, DSS found an even faster Egg Wyvern strategy. This propelled him way above Haruki's times, and he was more than satisfied with that accomplishment. Shortly after he achieved his goal, it was submitted onto the newly founded Speedrun.com. From here, the run was taken much more seriously, and the speedrun community started to take shape. At the center
I
of this
know.
new community
That's
was
DSS for you.
as he'd been tearing the game apart
just
for
goated at
years.
finding
But there
shit,
was
man.
also a new runner taking the spotlight. The person who helped craft the Sonic 06 leaderboards. His name is Triple Agent.
Triple Agent,
Triple
my
was
goat.
the next person to truly take Sonic 06 seriously.
that got me into
He began
speedrunning
his
this
journey
game.
in late
And
2014
in general.
when he and other runners created the 06 Skype group, which included his friend Brensecure, who inspired him to join. In the middle of March 2015, Triple started up a rivalry between him and another runner, Focus Sight. Focus started submitting times to the Sonic Center in 2013 and was one of the youngest runners at just 12 years old. Unfortunately, it was revealed that
Still runs
Focus
the
was
game, by the
submitting
way.
fake times to the leaderboard, which got him banned from the website. Focus did his best to regain the trust of the community, and over time, he was slowly let back in. By 2015, he regained his status as a trustworthy member of the community. Triple and Focus traded individual level records back and forth, but those weren't the only runs Triple was interested in. He worked his way up the full game leaderboard in a flash, and now he was about to speed to the top. On March 16th, Triple was on his 187th attempt. He executed all of the tricks with grace and got fast segments on almost every level. Despite the high stakes, he made an effort to interact with his viewers about the run as he played.
Holy shit, 255. Holy shit. Maddening Jules, welcome to the stream. Right now I'm on the best pace by far that I have ever had, ever.
Everything was looking bright, and he even got his fastest completion of Radical Train. 21 seconds ahead of world record pace, Triple entered Tropical Jungle. That's when the game decided to remind him that he was playing Sonic 06.
No, it happened to me. Damn it.
Sometimes the game completely loses its marbles, which causes many unfair deaths. Now 12 seconds
Yeah,
behind,
he can now
Triple
avoid
kept
that.
his head on straight and continued the run.
Homing
With
it
the
back
Sky
onto
Gem in
it now.
hand, Triple
It's not
entered
an issue.
Aquatic Base. He used the gems to their fullest potential, only suffering a few bonks because of enemies.
It's
Little
true.
did he know that he was back on record pace.
Yo, it's possible. It's possible.
The Egg Wyvern fight was the only thing standing in his way of beating DSS. The well-renowned Sonic legend was about to be beaten. Triple just needed to close it out.
Is that it? Oh my god! That's it! Holy shit! Guys, that's world record!
It wasn't by much, but the end time wasn't the main focus here. Triple beat the master himself, and congratulations poured in from his friends and supporters. Together, they helped encourage him all the way through.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
Yeah,
I don't
back
believe
in the
you.
day-
Wow. Lol, Darren. Thanks, bruh.
For the most part. This was a huge accomplishment, but Triple
the most
wasn't
part,
done.
Liam
In
was, like,
fact,
so
he was
dominant in
just
this era.
getting started. In the following
This is
days,
just the
Triple
start.
lowered the record 2 more times. He almost got the first 1 hour flat time, but unfortunately missed the barrier by a few seconds because of Egg Wyvern. A cruel early
He
April
hardcore
Fool's joke.
carried this game's
Despite this, he was happy
fucking
for now and
progression for,
focused
like,
on lowering his time in Shadow's
almost 10
story
years.
for the next couple months. Triple began to make a name for himself. If DSS was the first to mold 06 into the speedrun we know now, Triple was going to take everything to the next level. One thing that someone must always be prepared for is the unexpected. Unbeknownst to Triple, the unexpected was
Yeah, I
about to
know.
happen because DSS wasn't through with the game just yet.
It's true. In 2018.
Give me those! And he nails it.
DSS just wouldn't quit. This run broke through the 101 barrier and smashed his previous time. DSS applied a few door clips to skip previously required areas. He used the bounce gem to get on top of Egg Genesis faster and timed his hits with the missiles so that he wouldn't be launched away. He used the Sky and Purple Gem in Aquatic Base to clip out of bounds and skip another large portion of the level. From there, he
Katie,
finished
when you
Egg
take
Wyvern,
your story
all the
world
while
record.
Triple watched his record get reclaimed by the fabled Sonic legend. Not only did he
Nah,
have
that
the
day
Sonic
will-
story record,
it
but
will
he
be
nearly
someday.
had a world record sweep in
Someday.
all main stories of the
Sometime
game.
this
With
year,
the
I
exception of
promise.
Shadow's story, DSS took over Sonic 06, and he
Explain,
earned
Liam averaged like 50 viewers when he was doing runs, like 50 to 100, and DSS had like almost 500. These guys were like huge on Twitch back in the day. Because pretty much they were like the only people speedrunning this game. And I think at the time, a lot of YouTube documentaries came out about Sonic 06, like the Some Call Me Johnny video and like the Game Grumps Let's Play. So I feel like a lot of people got exposed to the game again and it had kind of a resurgence around this time. And so, yeah, DSS was fucking massive. He has
all
like
of his
30K followers
recognition
right
and
now.
accomplishments. Now,
All from
it was Triple's turn.
that time.
Hey, I heard you sell illegal copies of Toy Story the video game. And that you also sell batteries?
Hey.
Ah, yes, well, you know, you really are my favorite battery seller.
Now that's what I call business. Well, good luck committing battery.
This
Triple
guy,
returned
man.
to Sonic's story, but he didn't just want to beat the record. In late 2015, he created speedrun tutorials for Sonic 06 to make the run more approachable to new players. Triple made sure to prioritize the growth of the community before everything else. At the same time, he was closing in on DSS. On January 12, 2016, Triple was on pace to get a new personal best. That was until Sonic 06 physics decided to turn against him.
Moon jump.
What the hell? Don't
That's
die.
moon
oh
jump.
Oh my god! You know what freaking that was?
That's moon jump. Basically, you fly, and on the very last frame before you hit the ground, you let go of A, and Knuckles just goes up and then goes down, and you can't do anything about it. You're just screwed. It's very scary. It's very, 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 very scary.
That was
But
a
yeah.
frame perfect moon jump.
You see? Frame perfect.
That is probably the saltiest you will ever see me get on stream. This game.
Resetting after losing a promising run
Yo,
always
that's,
sucks, but it's even worse when it's
crash
lost
out
on the
like I've
very
never
last
seen.
level. Despite his hardships, Triple was the only runner with a chance to get ahead of DSS. It's only natural to suspect that a 59-minute time was inevitable, but that's easier said than done. As fascinating as the glitches are, they can also be a nuisance to pull off, but Triple didn't let this stop him. He returned to his stream
Yeah,
and
for him,
started
that's a
more
crazy
attempts.
crash out.
He began another run that fell behind thanks to Egg Cerberus. This is one of the only points in the run that relies on RNG, which in simple terms translates into luck. Unfortunately, Triple did not get good luck during the fight and suffered a death that cost 10 seconds. He attempted to counter this time loss with a new strategy during the snowboard section of White Acropolis found by a runner named Sharu. When holding and releasing the A button, Sonic will perform a big jump with his snowboard. On the edge of certain ramps, there is something called a jump trigger that sends Sonic forward if he jumps at the right time. On this ramp, Triple holds down the A button and releases it before the trigger. By timing the jump correctly, he skims the edge just before falling off, granting Sonic a ton of extra speed. This makes the board harder
you
to
go
control,
flying
but
in
Triple
this
handles it
section.
very well. Laserclip
It's
gave
so
him
hard
a
to control
time,
when you're
sadly,
first
setting
doing
him
it.
back another 4 seconds. Trying to get back on a good pace was a struggle. Still over 30 seconds behind after Egg Genesis, Triple continued to Tropical Jungle, the area that screwed him over before. This time, he nailed everything perfectly and got his
Nailed
fastest
everything
run of the
perfectly,
level
did the same
ever,
thing, but it
achieving
didn't
a
happen.
gold split. Then he got another gold split, and then
Bro, just
another,
something it's
and then
like-
another. Triple was on par
There's
with
no
the world
RNG in
record
this
going
game,
into
Flynn.
Aquatic
This is
Base,
all
and
skill.
somehow he got
Pure
yet
skill.
another gold segment. But the most insane part was saved for
Everything
last. There
is
was
your
one
fault.
more discovery made for Egg Wyvern.
At least in this
First,
category.
there was the
In the
49
others,
second
yes, there is,
strategy,
but-
and then there was the 21-second
There's this one
strat.
now.
Those skips were already out of this world. How could a faster strategy possibly be found?
That's world record, boys. Yeah.
Yep, it's official, he's a wizard. What even happened here? Triple executed a faster version of the 21-second strategy found by Volcano
as
the
fast
Bat.
as it gets.
By immediately pulling out the Sky Gem and throwing it forward, Triple does a homing attack on the gem itself to gain more height, and then attacks Eggman's horn. When the Sky Gem forces him back, he throws the gem at the edge and ends the boss in 5 seconds. Don't blink or you'll miss it. This fight underwent a roller coaster of
100K
developments,
views, by the
and
way.
yet
It's fucking
speedrunners had
insane, man.
no idea why this happened. Later that year, though, the explanation for
Just
the
goes to
first
show
Egg
how big he
Wyvern
was back
strategy
in the day,
finally
dude.
came out, and it was told by none other but the official YouTube channel for Sonic the Hedgehog.
So, what he just did is he triggered the boss to start flying forward. The boss is supposed to hit something and knock him back onto the platform and keep the fight going. Because Sonic is not on the proper part of the fight, the boss just keeps flying and flies so far that it flies outside of the boss fight range, gets its own data deleted, and then the game, upon realizing the boss data is no longer there, tells him that he's beaten the boss fight.
Additionally, a user named Gordon Ramsay, not you, spent many hours studying the fight. When Sonic grabs the
was
horn,
cooking,
a command
you could
named
say.
Rodeo Sky is activated alongside the 21-second timer. Upon reaching the top of the arena, the command breaks and ends the boss prematurely. The reasoning behind this is still not fully understood, but that was okay. The skip worked, and that was good enough for everyone involved. Triple was officially 18 seconds away from breaking into the game's most sought-after barrier. 59 minutes looked more plausible than ever before, but Triple didn't get ahead of himself. Besides, he needed to focus because he had to prepare for a marathon. The first Sonic speedrun event in history was being held in February 2016, and fans of the franchise anticipated
Yo,
the
it's
event.
Taco.
This was the first time communities of each Sonic
crazy,
game
man.
could come together and share their hard work. Triple was selected as the runner for Sonic's story, and he got to work. After a month of grinding the game,
Taco's been
Triple
around for a
stepped up
long
to the
time,
plate
man.
on February 28th and began the run in front of hundreds of people.
3, 2, 1, go.
Triple showed off all the amazing tricks the community found over the years. He performed everything with excellent precision, and he even showed off a new strategy in Crisis City.
I'm not sure.
Literally 2 days ago, DSS found this alternative speed cap glitch. right here. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay. And that saves 10 seconds as well, just like the White Apocalypse. And now you can see we going hella fast.
Triple went above and beyond to show what the game had to offer while doing everything in his power to keep his nerves in check. Since this was during a marathon, Triple couldn't see the timer as the host was the one that was controlling it. This meant he couldn't judge how fast he was going, and subsequently, he didn't realize how far ahead he was. However, Tropical Jungle was coming up. This was Triple's biggest fear.
Alright, so the first death is coming up. Here's the vine. And here's the second spot. That spring sometimes doesn't work, so luckily it worked here.
Yeah, this guy was schmoovin'.
Despite his worries, he sped through the level incredibly fast.
I know.
In the Wave Ocean
Aquatic-based
Revisit,
music
Triple
is
showed off
goated.
Tails' flying ability
Best
and
music
later
in the
crushed
series,
trials
dude.
before
I'm not gonna
entering
lie.
Kingdom Valley.
Now, coming up in this section, we're supposed to play
Definitely the
Silver,
best in
but,
Sonic
he hit
06.
Silver, so we're gonna skip him. Second spin dash flip. Got about first time.
Just a few seconds off his best Kingdom Valley time ever, Triple hits the bells around Soliana and buys the Sky Gem. It's time to enter Aquatic Base.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you can get sub 240. I've only ever gotten it once, so.
His world is better? Absolutely not. His world is overrated as fuck. And he gets sub 240.
Alright, okay.
No, and he's only gotten it once.
It was a beautiful sight. Triple exceeded his own expectations in front of everyone. Now, the final push.
Second try.
Time.
Boom.
Paulie, what is it? Don't tell me I missed it. Don't tell me I missed it, man. I missed it, didn't I? I missed it. No way, are you serious? We got the sub 1 live, let's... Oh my god, you're kidding me. We did it. No way. Oh my god.
On this day, the game changed forever. Basically, ever since this point, sub 1 hour is still considered like a really, really good time to get, even now, for people who are starting out. It's actually insane, dude. Like, I think to get sub 1 hour, it's like you have to get like top 15 or top 10. It's not easy. It takes some time to do.
Crazy things always happen.
Doing
in
it back then
speedrunning.
is crazy,
Newly
man.
discovered tech, a new barrier being broken, these often transform the way a game is played. But to have a monumental achievement take place during a marathon in front of an audience of hundreds?
I'll check
that
after the
was
video.
nothing short of a miracle. Triple completed one of the most influential speedruns in the game's history. This was more than just a world record. This was the end of an era and the dawn of a new beginning.
Alright, I got some batteries, so now we can finally finish this game without anything tragic happening. What? Just hold on. Hold on. We didn't save?
Okay, I know it looks hopeless, but you have to keep trying. You were so close to the end.
I was still in the first boss.
Same difference. Look, this is the only way we can fix
It's
you.
a different Liam.
You can do this.
You're right.
Unfortunately.
Look, this game may be a jumble of lost potential as a result of poor management and bad decisions, but this is the only way.
Let's go! You finally finished the most polished game of all time. Now you should be all back to normal.
Finally! At least I don't have to beat this game 3 times with 3 different characters.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Ah!
In the summer, Triple lowered the record a couple of more times. In late June, he had a good run going until the end when he misjudged his Skygem throw and died in Soliana. He clutched the record by getting an extremely fast Egg Wyvern. In July, Tropical Jungle came to haunt him again and he was forced to restart the level. He did save time by not dying in Soliana and barely snatched another record with a 59.32. Then, Triple stepped back from Sonic 06. With July coming to a close, his run remained on top for the rest of 2016.
Yeah.
2017 was a very quiet year for Sonic 06 speedrunning. Whether it was a gap in skill or a lack of interest, the game saw almost no world record activity. Almost.
He's back. DSS is back.
In February, DSS once again returned to the Sonic Story speedrun. Even though 2 years passed since his last record, he derusted his skills very quickly. On February 3rd, he started up another speedrun. He nailed the first skips beautifully. Wave Ocean skip, the Soliana clip, Knuckles clip, and more were all a part of the run. Better yet, a new strategy was discovered by Volcano to speed up the Egg Genesis fight. One of the many strange quirks in 06 revolves around Sonic's spin kick. If he does this while standing on a box, for an example, it will shoot straight up and carry Sonic as high as he wants. In the arena, there's a rock present near the spawn point. By standing on it at the correct angle and tapping forward while performing a spin kick,
this is a lot easier than it looks, by the way.
Above the Egg Genesis. Now he can damage
it looks
the boss
bad, but
a
it's
lot
not.
Sooner. DSS had a 20-second lead on Triple throughout the entirety of Kingdom Valley and was in the home stretch.
Yeah, it's not as hard as it looks.
Aquatic Base is largely considered the hardest level in the game, but DSS
there's like a alignment
to
to it now that works pretty well.
Last and certainly not least,
it's pretty much
DSS
just like building muscle memory for it.
That started his journey. The first 58-minute time in history. This was an incredible display of all the tricks the run had to offer, and everything was executed to near perfection. DSS achieved yet another legendary milestone in Sonic 06, but this time it would be his last. After a decade of making discoveries and breaking boundaries, this became DSS's last world record in Sonic Story. He may have set the game down, but his activity continued to flourish among other games and player bases.
07.
His commitment left an impact only few could ever hope to achieve, and laid the groundwork necessary for the next era of runners to completely destroy Sonic 06. DSS's legacy lives on to this day among the hearts of the growing speedrun community.
Yeah. DSS was really just at the top of his game back then, dude. Like, this guy was a world record machine, man. I know a lot of people say that he's like the best like Sonic runner of all time just because of the amount that he like discovered for each game, and like also the extent that he was able to like optimize some of these categories, you know, Team Rose and you know, Sonic NCW, and not even just like this category in 06. Like, he did all of them. He had the sweep in the entire game at this point. Like, he had all of the main board category world records, including 180 emblems. It's actually crazy, man.
The following year, one of the community members set their eyes on Sonic Story. This is Sharu, one of the first Japanese speedrunners to join the community and the person who discovered the speed cap glitch in White Acropolis. He joined back in 2016, right around the time Triple dominated the category. In February 2018, Sharu was determined to get to the top. On the 11th of that month, Sharu announced in the Discord server that he lowered the record. Not only was his run extremely solid, but he implemented another loop launch in Dusty Desert. Similar to Wave Ocean, Volcano discovered that Sonic can get a buffered homing attack launch toward the next section. Depending on the execution of the trick, this saves about 2 seconds. Sharu picked up the pace a ton during the later part of the game. His movement was almost perfect, and of course, he nailed the final boss. Sharu beat DSS and got a mid 58-minute time in the process. Competition was becoming fierce, and before any previous record holders could challenge.
Yeah, dude, Sharu, I'll just explain it. This guy literally started running this game, and he ran Unleashed as well. And he literally got some of the craziest ILs that stood for like 5 years. And then the moment that he picked up Sonic NCW, he just got record like piece of cake. Skipped 59 and got world record. Like skipped it. Got a 1 flat, skipped to 58 and got world record. It's actually insane. Like Sharu is also a really, really, really talented tasser. You should go check out his stuff. He is tassing Egg Shuttle, some Shadow the Hedgehog stuff. Yeah, man, crazy dude. And he also had the world record in Sonic Unleashed Any Percent for like many, many, many years. And recently, Sharu came back like earlier last year and got the first sub 3 Crisis City and the first really good run with Surf Skip.
Another player who joined years ago tried his hand at the speedrun. He was none other than Triple's former rival, Focus Sight. Just a couple of months after Sharu, Focus decided to try his hand at the Sonic Story record. On April 22nd, Focus got a really solid run. His Dusty Desert segment was pretty good, and Kingdom Valley went beautifully. His aquatic base was also executed super well, even though it took a few—
Wait, where do you see my name?
To try his hand at the Sonic Story record. On April 22nd, Focus got a really solid run.
My name?
His Dusty Desert segment was pretty good, and Kingdom Valley went beautifully. His aquatic base was also executed super well.
Yeah,
even though
he's
it
still
took
around.
a few tries, he defeated Egg
Sharu
Wyvern
literally
and
got
ended with
like
a time
couple of
of
IL
58.07. This was Focus's first record in Sonic Story, and he was thrilled. He checked his capture card so that he could watch the video of the run he just performed, only to discover the recording malfunctioned.
Police, hold on tight.
This audio is the only proof of Focus's run. The video itself was lost. For a run to be verified onto most leaderboards on speedrun.com, the run must contain both audio and video evidence. Without both of those requirements, the moderators cannot verify it. This was supposed to be Focus's big break, but his moment was taken from him.
Wait,
Focus never attempted to get the record again for Sonic Story, but he continued to stay active in the community. The following month—
Yeah, by the way, Focus is still around. He's actually running the game right now. Isn't that crazy? He got a Sonic No Credits for PB like a week ago. He's actually still playing the game. So, yeah, go check him out. He's, grinding away at Sonic 06 trying to, get back to the top again. He's playing all the categories, too. He's not just doing Sonic. He does Shadow and Silver as well. So, yeah, Focus, really good.
a familiar face returned to the speedrun.
Look who's back. It's Liam, Triple Agent.
After a 2-year hiatus, Triple still had what it took to get the record back. He did fall behind after the Wave Ocean revisit, but he was able to bring it back at the end. Oh, but he didn't stop there. He continued to play the game for months with the goal of fulfilling his dreams and taking the time down as low as possible. This was going to be the craziest summer for Sonic 06 yet, and Triple charged forward.
Dude,
with his
I wish
head
I was
held
here
high.
for this grind, dude. This grind must be fun to watch.
Let's go, dude!
Really, congrats. That was amazing. So proud, dude.
crazy, man.
By late June, Triple already shaved off another minute. He knew the run could be pushed further though. Triple found an improvement on Volcano's Egg Genesis strategy. Before, you could only get 2 fast cycles on the boss because Sonic is out of rings after taking damage once. But by getting hit on the right spot after Genesis is at a quarter health, he can recollect the ring before it falls off the edge. This gives him the opportunity to get another fast hit. This is called Triple Cycle and saves over 15 seconds. His 57-16 had the potential to get close to or even surpass the next minute barrier. Some bad luck during the Genesis fight and a couple of other hiccups were the only things standing in his way. It almost seemed like the game was conscious of this. Triple kept trying to improve the run again and again, but he was met with crushing losses. When he finally got a new record, it was only an improvement by half a second.
Not the
Sonic
micro
06
grip.
was taunting him right in the face, but he persevered. Despite all of the heartbreaking runs, the close calls, and everything in between, he kept playing. On July 29th, Triple started his last session of attempts for the summer. On one particular run, he was behind his personal best, but did everything he could to recover time loss.
Yeah, 06
he
cast
got the
would be
speed
crazy
cap glitch in
someday,
White
but
Acropolis
not
in
right
Crisis
now.
City, and
It's not
effortlessly
happening for a
executed
long
Knuckles
time.
clip in Flame Core. He had a chance to bring it back. In his record run, he messed up the Egg Genesis fight. If he got Triple Cycle successfully, the run might be saved.
Okay, first try rock launch. Yes, nice. Did not get RNG. All right. Nice, yes. All right, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Yes.
He regained the lead, and it continued to get
Yeah,
better.
Turbo.
He got farther and farther ahead as he progressed. He needed to get this run. When he got to Kingdom Valley, Triple played out of his mind. He was on just the right pace to get a 56-minute time, but he had only a few seconds of leeway. If he made one tiny mistake, the run was over. Triple entered the battle room at Aquatic Base and prepared himself for the out-of-bounds glitch. He nailed it. He sped past all the enemies blocking his path and completed the level. Triple was 17 seconds ahead, which meant he had one shot at Egg Wyvern. It was all coming down to the final few seconds.
Get ready, this pop-up is really loud.
56, baby, let's go! Woo! That's what I'm talking about! Let's go!
This is a
I'm
classic.
gonna knock on the neighbor's doors! I need to air something really quick. I just got the 56!
Bro's just chilling in his boxers.
Sonic no MVP! That's a good time!
56-58.
That's a good
In a
time.
single year, 3 separate minute barriers were crushed. The community transformed
time,
Sonic 06 and pushed it farther than anyone else could have imagined, which says a lot for a game like this. After an action-packed summer, Triple completed his long-sought goal. Through his dedication and hard work, he honored the legacy of DSS and the others that came before him. He didn't just break the world record, he helped shape the community and took a pivotal role in introducing others to the game. He earned his place as one of the most influential Sonic speedrunners in history.
07. Liam, my goat.
Yes!
Another one of
You
these.
did it for real this time!
I think this game's gonna hear from my lawyer.
It's a good thing we're so good at helping solve each other's crises.
You did literally nothing.
Well, now that we fixed your weird physics, why don't we try to learn how to speedrun this game? So is that,
No.
Another couple years into the future, and a lot has changed in the 06 community. The world record for Sonic Story still remained unchallenged by most, until a longtime member of the community decided to give the record a shot. This runner goes by the name of Nick867.
Nick
had his start
my
in the community
fucking
back
arch
during
rival,
the glory
man.
days of 2016. He did many runs of individual levels, but didn't practice Sonic Story extensively until the summer of 2019. He lowered his time until October when he almost got a 56, but messed up the final boss. Nick was understandably disappointed and took a break. He didn't do any more speedruns until April 2020. This time, he didn't give up and he got a 56. A lot had changed in the speedrun. In Wave Ocean, Sharu discovered an alternative skip at the beginning that Nick uses to save 8 seconds. After positioning himself on a different spot, he launches forward and completely skips the cave
This
section.
strat
was
is
given
so
the
bullshit. Okay, so I'm gonna just explain to you how bad this strat was, because this strat is the reason why I didn't run this game for like many years and like super long. It's because this strat is dependent on where you're positioned on the loop, and also dependent on how fast or slow you mashed, which combining both factors of that makes the strat like so inconsistent, dude. Like, I'm telling you, you could go on the same position all you want, but if you mash in a different way, then yeah, dude, it's just not happening.
Cave Skip, however, it's very inconsistent, and Nick was one of the only players to implement it in runs. He executed a new strategy for the Iblis fight simply called Fast Iblis. Instead of hitting the purple rocks like normal, Nick collects some rings and stands on the starting platform. After 26 seconds, Iblis is prompted to leap towards Sonic. As Iblis is about to launch, Nick goes backwards into the lava. Nick charges up a spin dash and spin kicks the platform just as Iblis dives into it, damaging him early. He does this 2 more times until the last phase, saving around 10 seconds. These new strategies helped a lot. On May 30th, 2020, he finished with an extremely solid time of 56:29. Nick was clearly hyped after this run.
Whew, not world record, but damn, I'm only 5 seconds off with slow loads.
Wait. Not a world record? How is that possible? He beat Triple's time by nearly half a minute. Hold on a second. World record by Flubler? A 56:24? Who the heck is Flubler? Why are we even talking about Nick's run?
Alright, here comes the lore.
Contrary to speedrunning, let's slow down for a second. Yes, the run in real time was much faster than Triple's record in 2018. However, as stated before, a lot has changed in the 06 community. Previously, runs were measured in the standard RTA time, which stands for real-time attack. Now, players were slowly switching to a new method of timing called LRT, loads removed time. Anybody who's familiar with 06 knows about the atrocious loading screens. Not only are they a pain to sit through, but loading times can differ in length depending on the state of the console. Nick says something interesting after his run.
This is a good run with slow loads.
Nick mentions slow loading times, which can affect a speedrun a lot. Fast loading screens usually occur after the game has been on for an extended period of time. This is because of how the Xbox stores and loads games. When a game is installed through a disc, it's loaded into the hard drive. The hard drive itself has different sectors that are responsible for loading a level, which vary in time. After running the game for an extensive period, the hard drive can start to load from sectors that don't take as long, thus making the loading screens faster. Slow and fast loads can differ by a second at a time, but over the course of a speedrun, fast loads can save over a minute. In the supposed...
Dude, let me tell you how stupid this shit is. Okay, also, by the way, look at me. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Hold on. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Dude, literally, this is the same guy. This is the same guy, by the way. Isn't that crazy?
World record, the run had fast loading screens, which gave him a huge advantage over Nick. Excluding the loading times, Flub's run was actually slower than Nick's. Eventually, Triple's and Nick's run were both retimed using the LRT method. In most games that use LRT and RTA...
Oh yeah, in case you weren't aware actually how bad it was, like, literally, world record was not possible without, like, it was very difficult to get with slow loads. It was, like, almost not possible. And back in the RTA days, we had to just sit and get fast loads by doing the craziest shit. Some people overheated their Xbox. Some people poured ketchup on their discs. Some people, like, tried to change USB drives and run, like, on different hard drives to see if they, like, worked. Dude, I'm telling you, it was madness. It was madness.
The times are usually a few minutes apart at most. When the moderators began to retime Triple's record, this was the result.
This is loads remove time, by the way.
Loadless shortened the overall time by 18 minutes. Yeah,
18
there
minutes
are
of
a
loading
lot
screens.
of loading screens.
Isn't that crazy?
Interestingly, Triple's run also had slow loads, and despite that, he still broke through the 57 real-time barrier. Now that the community was making the switch to LRT, the run was now in the 38-minute margin. Comparing Nick's loadless time to Triple's time, Nick's was 21 seconds faster, which meant he officially claimed the record. RTA continues to be used in runs, but the official times on the leaderboard will be retimed to LRT. A few weeks later, Nick achieved another record, and it seemed like it was pretty far ahead of his previous time. But when retimed without loads, his record was only a single second faster than his personal best. The problem with fast loads is it gives the illusion that a run is faster than it actually is. Nick was aware that he could get a better time, and he promised that there will be a new record soon. Just a month later, there was indeed a new record, but it wasn't
here we go.
by him. In February of that year, a new runner named Flubler joined the Sonic 06 speedrun community. At just 15 years old, he already attained quite the speedrunning resume. He was involved in the Mario Kart Wii community when he was 12, setting top
I'm
times
exposed in 4K. No, get that off my screen, man. No, fuck, man. Okay, so for reference, okay, I gave them permission, by the way, to show these videos because you have to tell the story. Like, it's important for the story. I was a little bit embarrassed, but, like, you know, like,
he was
involved. So look, this is me, right? This is me in 2017 speedrunning cups. Because back then I was a competitive Mario Kart player. And I was for many, 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 many years. And I wanted to do this so that way I can get my consistency up for online. And also just because I thought it would be fun, you know? Like, I thought I would, you know, do it. And pretty much, like, I did this for, like, a while. And then eventually I kind of stopped playing competitive Mario Kart. And then, yeah.
In the Mario Kart Wii community when he was 12, setting top times in a few categories. He jumped from game to game, and then in early
Speedrun
2020,
Geometry
he
Dash 2. I speedran like the Rob Top levels because I thought it would be fun, like just completing them back to back because I thought it would be cool. Pretty much, I was trying to find, like, after I stopped playing Mario Kart Wii, I tried to, like, find my niche and tried to find, you know, the game that suited me the best, that I really enjoyed. Because, you know, I feel like every speedrunner goes through that phase at some point where they, like, find what game, like, they like and what game that they feel like they're, like, really good at, you know? And, yeah, dude, fucking, like, I genuinely was just, like, trying to find a game that would be good and a community that would not make fun of me. Because I'm going to be real, and I'm going to be completely honest. I was a part of many communities who I will not say specifically what, but I was, like, pretty much bullied out of most of those communities because I was, like, 13, 14 years old, and, like, you know, they were making fun of me because I was an annoying squeaker. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. And I was really tired of it because, like, I just wanted to run a game in peace and have people that, you know, I could be a part of, that I could enjoy, you know, speedrunning a game with. And, you know, I found some people that were like that, and, you know, I still keep in touch with some of them. But, yeah, like, back then, I was literally just, like, trying to find my footing. And then I And then
First Games Done Quick event. The run he watched was the Sonic 06 Silver Story speedrun performed by Focus Sight. Alongside him were Triple, DSS, and other members of the community. This is what motivated Flub to run the game for the first time.
Yeah, so I went to GDQ, right? And I saw that there was an 06 run. And the reason why I wanted to attend GDQ is because I wanted to see if I could try to meet some people, you know, at least around my age, because I saw that there were some runners who, you know, were younger and, you know, liked, you know, same stuff that I did. And so, you know, I kind of used that as an opportunity to find people to chat with and to find like a group that's good, you know. And I watched the Sonic 06 run and I was like, yo, this is sick. This was like in December 2019 was when I like started getting interested in this. Because I saw this run was in the schedule and I was like, yo, I got to check this out. I got to check this out because this is sick. And so, yeah, pretty much at the end of 2019 is when I started getting like interested in like 06 stuff because I wanted to try speedrunning Sonic because I ran Sonic R actually in 2018 for a little bit too. So, you know, yeah.
After encouragement from a friend, Flub joined the Discord server in February and achieved a Sonic Story RTA time of under an hour in just a month. 2 weeks later, he skipped from a 59 to a 57-minute time. Then on May 27th, Flub claimed a 56:24, achieving a new record, at least in RTA.
Oh my god, it's
Later,
me.
when the load times were removed, it was revealed that his in-game time was slower than Triple's. Nick proceeded to get his 56:29 a few days later and was found to be the actual world record. But Flub wasn't done yet.
Yeah, dude, fucking... Let me go to a frame where I'm actually visible. Isn't this crazy that this is the same guy? I still can't believe this, man. I literally look like I am like, oh my god, man, it's crazy.
He still had his
Same guy.
sights set on breaking through another RTA barrier, the 55-minute milestone. He wanted to realize the game's potential for himself and for the community, so he kept playing. He committed to thousands of attempts, and finally on July 20th, 2020, Flubler broke through. The final time of the run was 55:56, the first sub-56-minute time.
Yeah, this is a milestone that I still cherish to this day of achieving. I genuinely was never so happy in my entire life being the first to actually break a minute barrier in a video game. And this is still something that I like actually look back on and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's cool. 'Cause now, you know, I feel like so much has happened since then. It's been a crazy ride, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's crazy. Pretty much, like, around this time, I'll say, too, me and Nick were in an intense rivalry in RTA. Because this was in an era where RTA was still the timing method. But, obviously, here it's not portrayed as such. Because everything post Liam's run was retimed. And so, like, actually what happened was I ended up trying to grind to get fast loads, and after I got that 56:24, I was stuck for a good month and a half. And this was during quarantine, so I had like infinite free time. I basically could just run whenever I wanted. And yeah, it was definitely really rewarding when I achieved it. And the story of actually how I got it on this night was I did like a marathon run with Focus on commentary. And pretty much, like, after the run, I got fast loads. And so I was like, yo, tonight I am grinding right now. I'm grinding for the 55. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it. And then I get it at like 4 or 5 a.m. after degen houring like crazy. And yeah. It happened.
But the real question is, was it still the record after being retimed? The moderators eliminated the load times during the speedrun, and this was the result. It was a true world record. At the age of 15, Flub became the youngest record holder in the history of...
I'm crying so much. I'm so emotional. I don't know why. Dude, I literally, like... I'm telling you, man. I couldn't understand what it meant to do this. Like, I just couldn't understand. And in my head, I was, like, really confused because, like, dude, like, I literally, like... this is something that I thought was going to take me, like, super, super long to get, and I was going to have to spend, like, half a year. And pretty much that's the mindset that I had going on into the game, was that, you know, I was going to, you know, put in a year or two into getting to that level, and it happened in 5 or 6 months, dude. And getting from joining the community in February to this was 5 months. And that's just purely because of quarantine and purely because of the motivation that I had to grind. And Nick as well. I want to applaud Nick because Nick also, sold his soul into Sonic 06 at this time. I mean, he was grinding all the time. And I still to this day respect him as a, you know, really good player. And, you know, he's still really, really good even now. But back then, we were just going back and forth with these records, man. Like, yeah.
06 speedrunning. From the beginning of his journey...
Yep. And there it is. It's me doing all the new tracks for MP.
Flub always had a ton of speedrun talent and dedication to his craft. He showed that as long as you believe in yourself and put in the work, anybody can achieve their goals. In the midst of Flub's first record in the category, Nick returned and focused all of his energy into Sonic's story. In Kingdom Valley, Volcano discovered the first major skip involving the green gem. This gem freezes Sonic and turns him into a tornado.
And I actually came back to it like a year ago and ended up like beating my PB a little bit just like as a fun side project. And yeah, honestly, I want to run it again at some point. It's a time commitment though, but I would love to run it again. Because I have, like, all the stuff set up for it now. And I'd love to go back and get, like, a sub 120. That'd be a really good goal for me to get. And it seemed like everyone really enjoyed the Sunshine streams. Like, when I streamed Sunshine for, like, a month, people actually vibed with it. Like, there were a lot of people who were watching and chilling. So, you know, I might actually do that.
Destroying any enemy in his path. In the middle of the level, there's a section where the player gets launched high into the air before coming across a few wall jumps. This wall jump trigger turned out to be in the perfect spot for a new skip. By doing a precise homing attack onto this eagle next to the spring, Sonic can jump off and use the green gem in mid-air to knock down the tower. If he jumps off the falling structure correctly, he can hit the invisible wall jump trigger.
Castle skip is crazy because this strat was known about for like 2.5 years. Back when Liam was grinding for the 56, it was actually found, and he was going for it in runs, but he chose not to on the 56 run because he was nervous, and yeah, he didn't want to choke the run because it was like barely possible. So yeah, dude, like this strat is nuts. This is like the most flashy strat in the game, honestly. It's actually insane, dude. Like, and I want to, you know, obviously
skip the
say
roof
this
section.
strat's not easy at all. Like, getting this in a run is really nerve-wracking even still now. There was a bounty actually set for someone set a bounty back then. Someone named Gasslayer, who you know, is no longer around. He's a sick dude. He set a bounty for someone to hit Castle Skip in a PB. And I got like a 57, a mid to low 57. I think it was the 57.22 actually. I hit Castle Skip in that run. I hit it in that run, and I won the bounty, which is crazy. Yeah, dude. Strat's sick.
This saves 8 seconds, but is absurdly difficult to pull off at the end of a run. What was so special about Nick was his ability to steal the competition. He ran Shadow Story, Silver Story, and a ton of other categories, and consistently achieved solid times in all of them. With his world record in Sonic Story being broken, he wasted no time getting back on the grind. He performed quite possibly the craziest runs the game has ever seen. With the members by his side, Nick honored the community and put everyone's hard work on full display for everyone to see.
Come on.
Oh, that's me. That's me. That was like, come on.
Come on.
Yo, love baby boys.
54-58. Let's keep go!
Let's go!
Oh my god.
Yeah, like they said, I was 15, so yeah.
I am being a stupid degen and going for final hit in this run. I'm gonna miss it, but...
No!
Final Hit, a strategy found by DSS 2 years prior using the anti-grav ability. It saves about 8 seconds, but missing it kills the run. Was Nick going to make it?
I got it!
So, Nick, is this like potentially a world record pace run?
Well, I mean, this could loadless record.
That was the slow loads, dude. This run was with slow loads. This run was not beaten with slow loads for literally like 3 years, by the way. It took so long for this run to be beaten with slow loads. It's actually crazy, man. This 55-35, yeah, dude. It's nuts. In fact, to this day, in RTA, with slow loads, it's only like 30 seconds faster, which is nuts. 30 seconds faster in 4 years. Crazy, man. Oh. And then this run was a masterpiece. It was literally a Picasso painting of a masterpiece. $36.46. Dude, this run, like, there are very few speedruns that I can say are truly ahead of their time. This is one of them. I cannot fathom to you actually how insane this run is for when it was set. With the strats that there were back then, it was pretty much a flawless run. There was no mistakes at all, no major mistakes whatsoever. And it was the first 06 run to be like that. Like, previously, in every single case of this game, there was always a run that had, like, a mistake somewhere, a huge mistake, like 15 seconds or something. And this run broke the 36-minute barrier and also broke a barrier that pretty much is uncontested by so many games. And to this day, this record has only been improved by 16 seconds. 5 years later. 5 years later. Like, dude, 3 years ago, 3 days, and 5 years ago, this run was set. And it's only 16 seconds slower than the record now.
Nick, in the span of less than a year, dominated the speedrun. He achieved the first 36-minute LRT, putting himself way ahead of Flubler's new personal best. On top of that, he also had fast loads throughout the run, which earned him the RTA record. His time was nearly perfect. Almost all the tricks were performed flawlessly, and his movement was on another level. This was it.
4 years,
the
yeah.
game had peaked, and so Nick stopped doing runs for Sonic Story. Despite the 1 minute gap between him and Nick, Flub still attempted to get the record. He kept doing runs, occasionally lowering his time, but no speedrun could match Nick's insane consistency. As the years ticked by, Flub kept getting in hundreds of attempts, seemingly getting no closer to Nick. There were small optimizations found in the run, such as a faster silver manipulation strategy, but it wasn't quite enough.
And yeah, that's the thing too. For many, many years, this run was like a looming shadow over me. Because Nick retired from the game for 2 years. In early 2022, he retired from the game. And pretty much, I pretty much accepted defeat after a certain point, and I was stupid enough to say back in 2021, like, bro, I want to give $100 for someone to bot me in Sonic NCW just so I can have competition again, because this guy is too good. I was really, really salty, and I, being my egotistical self, I couldn't, like, I don't know. It was really hard because, like, I had to kind of, like, try and, not think about it because, I wanted to still have the record in, like, one of the games that I grew up playing. So, like, I really wanted this record for so long. But the combination of Cave Skip being so inconsistent and also just the amount of, like, variability there was with fast loads for so long, because loadless wasn't legalized until 2022, end of 2022. I think it was, like, 2022. It wasn't, like, back then, and by 2022, I was already, like, starting to do statics. I started to do SA2. Like, in 2021, mid-2021, I got burnt out after a certain point of playing the game because I literally just, like, couldn't deal with the fast loads anymore and the bullshit that was that. And so I started running statics and then SA2 in 2021, and then, like, what happened with me in SA2 already, so, yeah. And then eventually, by the time that the loadless thing came out, I was, like, not motivated to play 06 at all still because, I was so in the mood with SA2, and I felt like, I wanted to get good in a run as I did with 06 back in 2020, you know what I mean? And so it wasn't until, like, end of 2023, when I got my 21, when I actually came back to Sonic NCW, and I was like, I'm going to finish this. I'm finishing this shit, and it's going to be over. I'm doing it. Like, I'm going to put an end to it. This shadow that was looming over me for so long, which was getting
just when everything seemed hopeless,
and then, look,
a new skip was found.
It's not over yet. Is this easier than Cave Skip? Sharu came back. Sharu came back. This was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Sharu coming back was so out of left field. This guy hadn't run the game for 2.5 years, dude. Since, like, early 2021. Mid-early 2021. And he just randomly came back and he was like, oh, look at this new setup that I found for Surge Skip. And this setup changed everything. Everything, dude. Pretty much because of this setup, it made the strat go from position-based and mashing, which was Cave Skip, and then just positioning now. It's literally just finding the alignments on the rock, which is like this little crevice here, and finding like a rhythm for it. And you know what you do wrong with this strat? There's actually like it's really consistent. And you could do it twice, and it still saves time over cave skip. This is faster than cave skip by 10 seconds. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. Crazy. 10 seconds, yeah. And so the grind begins. Boom! Literally right there. You skip so much of that, dude. Woo! 5502. Oh my god, that might be it. Is that record?
Alright, and then here's silver. This was like really stuffed. That last hit was terrifying, man. Oh man. My heart is beating so fast.
26, 27. I'm gonna trust this because this number seems right. Yeah, this number seems right.
Oh my gosh, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. Oh my gosh.
36. 37.833.
Yeah! Let's go! Yeah!
Oh my god, I did it!
Yeah.
This is like a long time coming for me. I accomplished what Nick did all those years ago. It's over.
And there you go. There you go. And that's the video. I mean, look, the end of that video really just showed like my actual emotions to actually getting the record back. It was pure joy. For the rest of that night, I literally just couldn't believe it, man. Like, oh my god. I'm sure Saucy, it was probably a crazy realization knowing that that happened like 20 minutes away from me, by the way. Once he found out that that run happened 20 minutes from where you live. You know? Yeah, dude. I mean, it was so rewarding because I haven't had the record, like the video said, since 2018, like 2021. Or 2020, loadless wise. And 2021 RTA, I had the record RTA, but the loads were really, like, insane, so. But loadless wise, I hadn't held the record for that long. And then eventually, in September, Nick eventually did come back and beat the run by a few seconds, which, you know, it's still a really good run, but it could definitely be improved. And, you know, as we speak, I'm actually kind of de-rusting a little bit because I haven't ran the game in a hot minute, and I want to actually go back in PB and maybe try and get a, you know, new record maybe too, just for the content. But yeah, pretty much, yeah, that's it. It's been such a crazy journey, man. It's a really sick video. You really made history, and you're not finished with Sonic games. Oh yeah, absolutely not, dude. We're still out here grinding. You know, 4 years later, I'm fucking 20 now. You know, I'm in college, and I'm still over here speedrunning stupid Sonic children's games. You know what I mean? We're still here. We're still here, dude. And you know, I'm really happy to have the amount of people behind me that I do, and you know, I'm really thankful for everyone who has supported you know, not just me, but also like the Sonic 06 community in general, because this speed game is really, really good, and I definitely think it deserves a lot more attention. And I think that by releasing this video, it showed the game in a whole different way to so many new people, and I am really happy that I got the chance to help Rhymo Swag make this video. Like, man, it's crazy. Yeah, man. I definitely feel the same way about you. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy that... Shout out to the mods, everyone who, you know, are here and still, you know, watching me speedrun and mod to stupid Sonic games for hours on end. And, you know, achieve all my goals that I want. And I'm hoping that moving forward that I'm able to, you know, get that and get the 20, get world record back in Sonic 06, and just be the best runner that I can be, and push my skill cap way up, way up. For reference, if you want to know what the leaderboard looks like now, oh look, it's okay. So update. It is April 2nd, 2025 now. This is a couple months after the VOD that you're watching. Nick has a 3610 now, so hey, that's pretty cool. It's us there. Yeah, this is the leaderboard now. Oh no, it was August. So my record stood for like 3 months. And Nick came back eventually, but I mean, yeah, I'm still really proud of this run because with the strats that it had, you know, like pre everything, it was really, really good. Nick's run too. Nick's run is really, really good as well. And yeah, you know, I really want to actually just come back and get the record. You know, since I'm also pretty close. Like if I PB, then I'll be pretty close. Yeah. Like there's no world where I can't get it still, you know? I'm like, I can get it if I PB by 7 seconds. It was a fun little watch to do. I'm definitely very happy I rewatched that video, you know? It's very, very sick. And you know, I hope that like I'm able to get the record at some point again. And you know, the whole reason why I actually ended up like getting back into Sonic 06 was because I got a 21 hero. And after I got a 21 hero, I was like, I'm not motivated for SA2 for like 2-3 months. And so I played Sonic 06 and I got my first 36 in like a week. And then I played SA2 for a couple months, and then I had like a school semester. And then by the end of the school semester, I got back into Sonic 06 again. And then I got the record back. Pretty much. And I was over the moon about it. It's crazy, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one. And yeah, take care. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.